Hi Nick, hi Catherine.
Hi.
I'm Rafael from Omelete. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Love Simon has a lot of exciting and emotional scenes. What is your favorite?
I really like the scene between Simon and Leia, actually, when they're come back home from the party and they sort of talk, and they think they're talking about the same thing, but they're in completely different universes. And I love the moment when they separate and they're both in their own worlds, basically. Just a failure to communicate. I just think it's a beautiful scene.
To say that's probably one of my favorites as well. But I'm also partial to the Ferris wheel scene. I think that's such a beautiful moment.
Can you talk about the process of choosing the actors for this movie?
So Nick Robinson was really first. He's the lead of the film, and you knew that you wanted to choose someone that would have the empathy, create the empathy, you know, and the heart. But still have the comedy, and that your film can only be as funny as he could be, and as sweet and as heartwarming as he was. And then once we had him, I did a lot of chemistry reads with all the kids.
Hey, how was the party?
Aces.
He was wearing a woman's sweater, and he's drunk. Yeah, we're good parents. Right?
Can you talk about your preparation for this movie? Besides the book, did you have any other inspiration?
First of all, obviously read the script and then eventually read the book. I think the one thing that was really helpful was Greg Berlanti allowed 2 weeks of rehearsal time before he started shooting, which was really helpful because it allowed us not only to go over the material, but also to kind of sit in our characters for a bit and also gel with each other and get to know each other. And I think that this film is so rooted in the relationships that Simon has and in this dynamic that friend group has, that it was really important to be able to do that and really useful.
I too thought that the rehearsal period was great, to be able to workshop the material a little bit. And then also just my conversations with Greg. You know, he's someone who has come out and was in high school as a closeted teen, and you know that his experience was really informative to this character and sort of understanding what that journey and process is like. And then, you know, there's people in my own family that have come out as well. So just, you know, in conversation and trying to be as sensitive as possible and not playing into any kind of tropes or stereotypes.
Love Simon has a very accessible language about being gay in adolescence. What is the importance of demystify the LGBT life in movies like this?
There's certainly been other forms of it in other movies, but I think having the presence of a gay teen character at the center of a romantic comedy, you know, I think is just affirming in a whole different way. And for me, just in reading the script and even watching it or participating in it, even though I was directing it, there were times just as an openly gay person myself that I just saw it was so validating, and it felt like it filled such a void that I didn't even know was there, to see myself or a version of myself, you know, on the screen like that.
I'm supposed to be the one that decides when, and how, and who knows, and how I get to say it. That's supposed to be my thing.
Nick, I loved your scenes with Josh and Jennifer.
Thank you.
So can you talk about how it was like to work with them?
Josh and Jennifer are both really sweet, very talented people. You know, Jennifer has a really maternal instinct, I think, and it really comes across in her performance. She took the words that were written and I think made something that was really heartfelt and special. I mean, on that day when we did that scene, everyone was crying, and it was, you know, it was an emotional day. And with Josh, it was sort of different. I mean, I think with Jen's scene, Simon's kind of leaning on his mom in that, and with his dad's kind of leaning on him in that. I think that dynamic is fun to play with.
You are still you, Simon. You deserve everything you want.
Catherine, you are again at the center of a teenage drama that talks about bullying and diversity and respect. How important it is always talk about these issues?
There's infinite ways to talk about these things, and I think that there should be infinite discussions, because the things that we go over both in this film and also, you know, 13 Reasons, which I was a part of, they're living issues. They're things that people go through throughout life. They're not just like one event. It's something that affects all of us and happens at multiple and different times in our lives. I think seeing, you know, a major studio make a mainstream film a love story centered around a gay teenage protagonist. It's something that we've needed for a very long time.
No matter what, announcing who you are to the world is pretty terrifying, because what if the world doesn't like you?
You work with with some of the most superhero TV shows, most popular on television. What do you think about directing a superhero movie?
I'd be open to it for sure. I think, when we work on the superhero shows on TV, we actually focus on the character stuff so much, just like we did on Love, Simon. And even though they're very different kinds of stories, they still have that same affirmation and optimism and heart that I think all the stuff that I like to work on has, and sense of humor, and so if I did a superhero film, I would need it to have probably those same kind of qualities too.
Can you look to the camera and send a message for Omelete fans?
Omelete?
Omelete, like the food.
Oh, omelette. Okay. Hi, Omelete fans in Brazil. I'm Greg Berlanti, the director of Love, Simon, and I just want to say hello and thank you for watching.
Thank you, Greg.
All right, thank you.
I'm done living in a world where I don't get to be who I am.